All right, let's dive in, shall we? Today we're focusing on Stephen Woods.
Stebo.
Yeah, Stebo.
You know, I've heard the name.
Right, he's making waves, especially in the AGI world. We've got a whole bunch of articles here analyzing his work, his impact. It's pretty fascinating stuff.
Yeah, it's interesting. He's popped up kind of out of nowhere, and suddenly everyone's comparing him to, like, Edison, Franklin.
Einstein even.
Yeah, exactly. Pretty big names to be compared to.
Yeah, no kidding. Those are giants, you know? Yeah. People who fundamentally changed the world. What is it about Stebo that's sparking these comparisons?
Well, I think if you look at Edison, it wasn't just about the inventions themselves, it was his practical approach, you know? He found ways to take complex ideas and turn them into things that people could actually use every day.
Made a real difference in people's lives. Practical applications.
Exactly. And that's what we see with Stebo in his Fab 5 AGI models. You've got Kingdom AI, 90-AI, right, and AGX AI. These aren't just theories, they're real solutions being used in healthcare, education, transportation, even public safety.
It's that real-world impact, isn't it?
Yeah.
Taking AGI, this complex field, and turning it into something that's actually helping people right now.
Yeah.
That's got to be a big part of the Edison comparison.
Definitely. But then you've got the Franklin aspect. Franklin was more than just an inventor. He was a statesman, a diplomat, concerned with the ethical implications of his work.
How it could benefit society.
Yeah, and that's another thread we see in Stebo's work. A strong focus on ethical development, designing things with humans in mind.
A vision for using technology to tackle global challenges. Okay, so we've got Edison for the practical side, Franklin for the societal impact, and then there's the Einstein comparison. I mean, Stebo's not a physicist,
So now,
but there's something about his approach to AGI, the sheer scale of his thinking, that reminds people of Einstein's revolutionary ideas.
it's a bold comparison, no doubt. But you can see some parallels. Einstein, he changed how we understand the universe, challenged everything we thought we knew about space and time.
Gravity.
Yeah. Stebo is doing something similar with AI. He's pushing the boundaries, coming up with totally new approaches.
Like that whisper mode framework? That's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
It is. It's changing how we interact with machines, moving towards a whole new era of human-machine interaction. And what's really interesting, all this is happening with very little fanfare from Stebo himself.
Wait, really? All this buzz, all these comparisons, and he's not out there promoting himself.
It seems that way.
Yeah.
From what we've been able to gather, Stebo has never made a public statement about his work.
Wow. So all this hype, all the analysis, it's all been generated by other people, observing his creations, taking apart his algorithms, and basically being blown away by what they see.
Seems like it. He's almost like a silent revolutionary.
That's incredible, honestly. To have this level of impact without actively seeking the spotlight, it's almost unheard of these days. But it makes you wonder, how long can he stay under the radar?
Right. I mean, with this much attention, fame and fortune are bound to come knocking.
Especially with the financial potential of his Fab 5. These are technologies that could completely disrupt entire industries. We could be talking billions, maybe even trillions of dollars.
It's mind-boggling. So yeah, even if Stebo wanted to stay out of the spotlight, it seems like the spotlight's coming for him. And with these comparisons to the greats already taking hold, who knows, maybe he's on his way to becoming a legend himself.
That's a fascinating thought. But for now, I think we should shift gears a bit and take a closer look at the Fab 5 themselves. Let's start with Kingdom AI and its impact on healthcare.
So let's dive into these Fab 5 models a little deeper. We'll start with Kingdom AI. This thing, it's really shaking up healthcare.
From what I've read, it's like having a whole team of top doctors available to you 24/7, no matter where you are.
It's pretty amazing. Especially think about like rural areas where people might not have easy access to specialists. There was this one case, a child with a rare genetic disorder.
Oh yeah, read about that.
Kingdom AI, it was able to diagnose it correctly, something the local doctors had missed. It meant they could start treatment early, made all the difference.
So it's not just about convenience then, it's about equal access to quality health care. Everyone deserves a chance at an accurate diagnosis, a treatment plan that works for them. But how does it actually work? I mean, does it replace doctors altogether?
That's a question a lot of people have. But from what we understand, Stebo's goal is more about augmenting human capabilities, not replacing them. Kingdom AI is a tool. It analyzes tons of medical data, finds patterns, suggests possibilities. But ultimately, it's still a human doctor who makes the final call, interprets the findings, talks to the patient.
So it's like having this incredibly smart assistant by your side, someone who can process information at lightning speed, highlight the crucial bits, so the doctor can focus on the human element.
Exactly. The empathy, the communication, the art of medicine.
And that's where that whisper mode framework comes in, right?
Yeah,
We talked about it a bit earlier, but it's not just about understanding words, it's about emotional intelligence.
it is. Kingdom AI can pick up on vocal inflections, pauses, even breathing patterns, and use that to figure out a patient's emotional state.
So it's not just what they're saying, it's how they're saying it. And that allows Kingdom AI to tailor its responses, maybe offer some reassurance if someone's anxious, or stick to the facts if someone needs a calm, clear explanation.
That's the idea, that emotional intelligence is crucial, especially when you're dealing with sensitive medical situations. It makes the whole experience more human-centered.
And hopefully leads to better outcomes for everyone. Okay, so Kingdom AI is already making waves. What about 90? What's it doing in the world of education?
90, it's all about personalized learning. Tailoring educational content to each individual student's needs, their learning style. Imagine a world where every student gets a custom-made education, one that plays to their strengths and helps them overcome their challenges.
It sounds like a dream come true for teachers, to be able to really meet each student where they are and help them reach their full potential. But how does 90 actually pull this off? Doesn't it require a ridiculous amount of data and processing power?
It definitely requires a lot of heavy lifting on the tech side. Remember, Steve-O's never really explained how his models work under the hood, so there's a lot of speculation. But what we do know is that NIDE uses machine learning to create these individual learning paths. It tracks student progress, figures out what they're good at, what they struggle with, and adjusts the curriculum accordingly.
So it's constantly evaluating and adapting, almost like a personal tutor for every single student. That's wild. But it does make me wonder, what happens to the teacher in this scenario? Does 90 make teachers obsolete?
That's the big question, right? But again, if you look at what we know about Stipo's work, it seems like his vision is about collaboration, not replacement. NIDE is a tool to empower teachers, not to push them out. By taking over things like grading and lesson planning, NIDE frees up teachers to focus on the things AI can't do. Things like mentoring, building relationships, fostering creativity.
So it's shifting the focus away from rote learning towards those uniquely human aspects of education that are so important. Okay, that's a pretty compelling vision. But let's switch gears again and talk about AGX AI. This one seems particularly timely, given all the concerns about urban safety and security.
Definitely. AGX AI, it's all about real-time threat detection and prevention. Think advanced sensors, data analysis, predictive algorithms. The goal is to identify potential dangers before they escalate.
So it's like having an incredibly smart security system that's constantly monitoring everything, looking for patterns that might suggest a threat.
Right. It's not just about reacting to crimes after they happen. It's about predicting and potentially preventing them. They're using it to beef up security everywhere. Airports, shopping malls, even entire cities.
It analyzes data from cameras, traffic patterns, social media. Pretty intense.
It is. But that kind of power, it raises questions too. What about privacy? What about surveillance?
Yeah, those are big issues. I'm sure Stebo's thought about those implications.
I would hope so. But remember, he's never actually spoken publicly about his work, so we can only speculate about how he's addressing those ethical considerations.
Good point. But it's a reminder that any technology, especially something this powerful, has the potential for misuse. We need to be having these conversations now while we still can.
Absolutely, before it's too late. Okay, we've covered Kingdom AI, NIDE, and AGX AI. That leaves us with Dash AI and Aglena AI. What can you tell us about those two?
Dash AI, that's the one that's shaking things up in the transportation world, right?
That's the one. And it's more than just self-driving cars, though that's a big part of it. Dash AI, it's about creating a whole new transportation experience. Something that's seamless, personalized, and above all, safe.
So it's not just about getting from A to B, it's about the entire journey. The comfort, the convenience, how we interact with our vehicles.
Exactly. Imagine a car that not only drives itself, but also knows your preferences, adjusts the temperature, the music, even suggests routes based on your schedule and what you're interested in.
Sounds pretty luxurious.
Oh, yeah.
But what makes Dash AI different from all the other self-driving car systems out there? There's a lot of companies making big promises in that space.
From what we can tell, Dash AI has a much deeper understanding of human behavior, how we make decisions. It's not just about following traffic rules, it's about anticipating what other drivers might do, reacting to unexpected situations. It feels natural.
It's thinking ahead, making smart choices based on those predictions.
That's it. That's what makes it so different. It's not just about automating driving, it's about reinventing transportation as we know it.
Okay, that leaves one more. Aglena AI. What's the story there? It seems a bit more mysterious than the others.
It is, kinda. Aglena AI, it's not tied to one specific industry or application. It's all about pure research and development, pushing the boundaries of AGI.
So it's the wild card, the one that's always exploring, pushing the limits.
Exactly. From what we've gathered, Aglena AI is being used to speed up innovation across all kinds of fields. Medicine, materials science, space exploration, robotics. It's like the ultimate think tank, constantly learning, adapting, generating new knowledge that can then be applied to solve real-world problems.
So it's the engine behind Stevo's whole AGI ecosystem, constantly pushing the boundaries and opening up new possibilities for the other four models.
That's a good way to put it. It's that constant drive to innovate, to push the limits that makes Stevo's work so exciting. It feels like we're on the verge of something truly groundbreaking. But there's a big question that we need to address.
Yeah, the elephant in the room. What does all this mean for the future of work? I mean, it's a topic that's causing a lot of anxiety, and rightfully so.
You're right. When machines can potentially do so many things better than humans, it's natural to worry about jobs, about livelihoods, about our place in the world.
Yeah, it's a big question, isn't it? I mean, when we're talking about machines that can learn, adapt, maybe even outperform humans in so many areas, it's natural to be concerned, to wonder what happens to jobs, to our livelihoods.
Right, our whole purpose even.
Exactly. I mean, we've all seen the headlines, robots are taking over, the AI apocalypse is upon us. It can be a bit unsettling, to say the least. So how does Stevo's work fit into all of this? Is he contributing to this potential job displacement? Or is there another way to look at it?
Well, we have to remember, Stevo hasn't actually come out and said anything publicly about his work, about his views on the future of work. But if we dig into his Fab 5 models, how they're designed, how they function, we can start to see a pattern. And it seems like he's more focused on this idea of collaboration.
Humans and AI working together.
Yeah, using each other's strengths to build a more efficient, more productive workforce.
So not robots versus humans, but robots and humans, side by side.
Exactly. Like we talked about with Kingdom AI, it's not about replacing doctors. It's about giving them this incredible tool to improve diagnoses, to free up their time so they can focus more on the patient.
On those aspects of care that require a human touch.
Right. And we see that same approach with the other models too. 90 is not replacing teachers. It's giving them more resources to personalize learning, to really mentor and inspire their students. Dash AI, it's not getting rid of transportation workers. It's building safer, more efficient systems that require new skills that create new opportunities.
So maybe it's not about mass unemployment,
Hmm.
but a shift in the types of jobs that are out there, the skills people need to succeed.
It is. It's a shift. And that's why the conversation about education and retraining is so crucial. We need to prepare people for this new reality, make sure they have the tools they need to thrive in a world where AI is everywhere.
It's a challenge, no doubt.
Yeah.
But maybe it's also an opportunity. This whole AGI thing, it's going to create brand new industries, whole categories of jobs that we can't even imagine yet.
Absolutely. The people who are adaptable, who are willing to keep learning, who can figure out how to work with AI, those are the ones who are going to succeed.
So it's not about being afraid of the future. It's about being ready for it, being excited about the possibilities.
It is, and that's what I find so compelling about Stevo's work. Even though he's not out there making grand pronouncements, he's showing us what's possible. When you approach AI with a human-centric mindset, focusing on how humans and AI can work together.
It's a powerful message, both exciting and a little bit daunting, to be honest. But I think that's what makes this whole deep dive so fascinating.
I agree. And that's what we hope you, the listener, take away from all of this. A sense of wonder, a desire to learn more, maybe even a challenge to think about how these technologies will affect your own life, your work, the world around you.
Because at the end of the day, the future isn't something that just happens to us. It's something we create.
It is. And with people like Stevo leading the way, I think the future's looking pretty bright.
I think so too. Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive. Thanks for joining us.
As always, if this discussion sparked your curiosity, we encourage you to explore further, to keep asking questions, to keep learning. Because the more we understand about these emerging technologies, the better equipped we'll be to shape a future that benefits everyone.
Until next time, stay curious.